Hey man, say man, y'all didn't know it is the big boss dog, can't pop through the door. Here to talk to this box and fucking my soliloquy. Maybe tough times don't last, good people do don't know yourself. Call him in the fall, let me be mad at peak game, 84s on West Wayne. How y'all doing, man? Happy after Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Your boy ate a lot of food. I ain't gonna hold you, but back to the grind. Right after Thanksgiving, I was back at the gym. Gym was kind of empty. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I mean? I don't know where a lot of them boys was at. They probably still full. The gym was empty, man. But meanwhile, I was at the gym. You know me. Sometimes I train music, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I listen to boxing, and this day I was listening to Mill City Boxing, and I seen Tiger Johnson, man. Um, as you know, Devin Haney had some words for Shawn Porter and a lot of the people on the Porterway podcast. They had Tiger Johnson and a list of other fighters, Sean Tell, and a lot of some of the normal guys on there. And Devin Haney has some choice words. Um, I'm gonna put that stuff on the screen as it pop up, but I just want y'all to listen to Tiger Johnson, man, and his response to Devin the Dream Haney. And shout out to Mill City Boxing, man. Let me tell you, that dude, bro, it's a good thing for what he does. He gets interviews with the fighters. He goes live with them, and he puts on his channel. One of the best channels on YouTube, man. So shout out to Mill City Boxing. But let's listen to this interview.
People on the live, let's get these likes up. You know what I mean? Got a question for you though. You was at the Porterway podcast yesterday. You did a nice interview. It was you, Sean Tatel, Shawn Porter. Fill us in on what was going on in the actual, the interview and stuff like that. Because I seen that Devin Haney had something to say.
Man, to be honest, I don't know what the hell he talking about, man. If you actually watched the interview, nobody said nothing bad about the nigga. Well, at least I didn't. What I said about the Brian Owen fight is what I just told you. I figured that he was gonna do what he did. I was surprised that he dropped him. I kind of figured he was gonna do what he did. I didn't say shit bad about that. You know what I'm saying? He went on Twitter and fucking started talking crazy and shit. You know what I mean? Like I ain't say nothing bad about him. You feel me? So I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I don't really got nothing to say for real.
Here's the conversation.
Yeah, like he started talking crazy to me. I ain't saying shit about him.
And this is you.
Yeah. I told him, like, nigga, watch the interview. Like,
so it says, go ahead.
Yeah, I told him, my response was, like, nigga, watch the interview. You feel me?
So, Devin Haney says, couch full of yes men.
Yeah, where the fuck did that come from?
Ass ninjas.
I don't know where that came from, man.
I've made and accomplished more than all of them put together. Nasty word.
Yeah, I don't know.
What got him ticked off? What got him ticked off? Because I see them syringes got him getting beside himself. What the hell does that mean?
He on that shit probably.
No. What does that mean? Who put that up?
I have no idea. Somebody sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, somebody sent it to me, yeah.
All right. But anyway, you comment, watch your mouth, my ninja. If you actually watched the whole live, I said I knew you was gonna win. What got you? What got him tight? You think?
Why you saying all that? Like calling niggas coons and yes man and all the extra shit. Like, supposedly he got a problem with Shawn Porter. That got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? You should have said something about Shawn. Why you bring me in there? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like that. Whatever beef you got with Shawn or the other Shawn, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't said shit bad about you. Why you gonna say? How you gonna drag everybody else down? We didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we if you watch the interview, like they was clapping for Shawn. For Devin. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they was praising him, like saying he did good, like he did what he had to do.
So you're confused right now, is what you're saying to me.
Yo, I woke up.
Why he even came at it like that?
I woke up, man, and people sent it to me, man. I was scratching my head like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he talking about? But I ain't just about to let nobody talk crazy, though. Try to play with me crazy, so I said what I said.
Man, you know that down the line, you know, could be something, man. That could be a hell of a fight, man. Especially if he decides to stay at 47 the whole time. You know? That's all I'm saying. You tight though.
Nah, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, I don't know, man. This boxing real just weird, man. You feel me? Like, I'm like, that's why I stay in my lane and stay in my own circle, man. Like, I don't get involved with motherfuckers, man. Like, this boxing world weird, man. It's like I can't even really explain it. It's weird, man. Everybody just weird. You feel me? And for him to say that, you know, him to make that type of response like that was just crazy.
Shout out to Mill City Boxing. I'm posting a link in the description to listen to the whole video. Here's my response to that. I think Devin Haney did overreact. The question I have for y'all is Devin Haney, did he overreact, right? I think he overreacted. I think Devin Haney is paranoid. I think he is creating fictitious beefs to kind of motivate himself. Because I watched the interview. They didn't say nothing crazy about Devin Haney. In my opinion, I feel like Devin Haney did taper off. I feel like they were honest. You know what I mean? They just like, hey, he got the knockdown. It was surprising. Nobody was expecting that. And, you know, although I mentioned that to Coach B, y'all can go watch the video. Although I picked Brian Norman, you know, I said, hey, it could be an easy night for Devin Haney. And it was, right? Later half in the fight, you see Devin Haney really didn't want to take any risk. He really, after the knockdown, you know, once he got to like fourth, fifth round, Devin Haney just started kind of coasting, right? He started kind of coasting, and you know, he basically coasted his way to an easy W. That's what it's boiled down to. He didn't want to take any risk. He didn't want to put himself in any type of danger. He just basically coasted. That's just what it boils down to. So for Devin Haney to get upset at, you know, the guys on the podcast to say the things that he was saying, it's crazy. Now, granted, it's all trash talk, you know, but at the same time, you know, Devin Haney is not gonna fight this guy, right? He's not gonna fight no Tiger Johnson. You know, he's not finna. Devin Haney is in it for the big fights, in it for the big paydays, right? And which Tiger Johnson acknowledged in this interview. He said, "Look, I don't think this dude gonna ever fight me." He said, "I'm not on that level financially wise to generate a lot of money." He said, "Now if he called me out and he said he'll fight me, he said I'll fight him in a heartbeat." But he said he's not gonna fight me because I'm not on that financial status, right? I'm not at that level as far as financially to sit there and for him to, you know, will want to fight me. So, in which I think Tiger Johnson, man, can get to that level. You know, early in the interview, he talked about how Brian Norman is green, and he talked about how he would be a different fight for Devin Haney, and how he would give issues for Devin Haney. And you know, I possibly agree. I still would favor Devin Haney against a Tiger Johnson. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think, you know, if this guy keeps developing, he could develop into something great to where he's polished, and you know he could pose some issues from Devin Haney. He's a tall, rangy fighter, right? And he, you know, let's just keep it real. He's from that Midwest, and you know I'm from Texas, and you know I'm talking like this. You feel me? That boy, man, if he, you know, them dudes in the Midwest, they different, bro. You know what I mean? They that boxing ability. So we just gotta keep it 1,000, right? I know I'm from Texas and I put on for my state. You know what I'm talking about? I think Texas is the best state in the world, but we gotta keep it 1,000. A lot of the best fighters come from the Midwest. That's what it is. Um, but I just think it's crazy. I just think it's egregious that Devin Haney is coming at this little young champion like that. Now, though they're around the same age, but Tiger Johnson, you know, his development was a little different and kind of long in the tooth than Devin Haney. So I think that Devin Haney tripping. That's what it boils down to. He tripping. He on this maxi pad. We finna talk real right now. He on this maxi pad. He needs to stop. With all this Twitter beef and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? Like just be humble. These dudes ain't say nothing crazy about you. They ain't call you out your name. They ain't say nothing egregious. You know what I mean? For you to try to come at them sideways is crazy. It's like when you wasn't winning, you wasn't talking like this. Now you win one fight, you talking, you tweeting, you doing all this other stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy how these young fighters get, bro. Just stay focused, stay like that, and keep winning, bro. You won one fight. Well, you won two fights, okay, technically. But, the Jose Ramirez fight was kind of underwhelming, right? The Brian Norman fight was the fight that, a lot of people felt like was a 50-50 fight. And there's a dangerous fight, and a lot of people were excited for it, right? Because it was dangerous for both guys, right? So, not Brian, Devin Haney passed the test. Brian Norman didn't. And Devin Haney moves on. He's not a WBO champion at 147 pounds. But it just kills me about today. Like these young fighters feel like they made it. Like the stuff that Devin Haney said, oh, I've made more money and I've more accomplished more in boxing than anybody on that panel. Right. And it's like, okay, you may have more accomplishments than everybody on that panel. You don't got the resume that Shawn Porter got. You're not the fighter that Shawn Porter is or was. You're nowhere near it. You're not even better than Shawn Porter. I say that. I say that with confidence, right? Shawn Porter fought Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Kell Brook. Do I need to keep going? He fought everybody, right? So he fought everybody who he could fight. Your Dennis Ugas. He fought everybody, right? So everybody that was considered a top fighter in and around his weight class, he fought him. Devin Haney has not done that. Okay. This Brian Norman fight, let's keep it real, was his first fight where you could sit there and say he fought a young guy and he beat him decisively. Everybody else he fought was old. Ryan Garcia sparked him, although Ryan Garcia cheated, right? But Ryan Garcia sparked him. He filed a petition and he got the loss reversed. That's what it boils down to, right? So we ain't forgot, okay? We just not gonna sit here and act like, oh, Devin Haney is, he's squeaky clean. No, Devin got to understand this, right? When you move like that, God has a way of humbling you, right? So I get it. He feel like I'm on this revenge tour. That's cool. But look at Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant was on a revenge tour. He wasn't sitting there talking crazy to everybody. No, he was very selective in who he said stuff to. There was some dudes he wouldn't even say nothing to them. He'll laugh at them. Yeah, all right, man, whatever. You know what I mean? But then there were some dudes he would step to them, right? He didn't do it on the internet. He went to them. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference. You know what I mean? When you're a man with morals and principles, right? You step to dudes. You go see them. You go talk to them. I'm not gonna say nothing to you over on the internet. And that's what's wrong with these young dudes. They say this stuff over the internet. They go back and forth on the internet. They do all this talking. Shakur Stevenson, Tank, all these dudes do this on the internet instead of just going to see who they got an issue with. Devin Haney's a fighter. Tiger Johnson's a fighter, right? Devin Haney, you got money, right? You mentioned that. Hey, I got bread. Cool. Go to Tiger Johnson's gym and go see him. Go see what he about. Go talk to him face to face. So hey, go to these fights. Go to his fight, right? And then and approach him in the back. Hey, bro, look, this was going down. No, he ain't doing that. So that's the thing that I have an issue with about Devin Haney and a lot of his fans is like, they do this hooping and hollering on the internet, right? They reciprocate what their leader is doing, and that's what's wrong with boxing today. It's too much talking online. That's why I miss the old school. Yeah, there was a little entertainment. If they're talking online, it's entertainment, right? But Devin Haney, Shakur, and them be talking gangster like they really like them. And it's like, bro, you're a boxer. You only fight one way. You only can win one way, which is to outbox somebody. You know what I mean? You may get a flash knockdown. You know what I mean? But That's it. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily need this overwhelming power to knock a man down. You just got to catch him out of position. All you gotta do is get him to be off balance. You hit him, he falls to the ground. That's just real talk. You can run a dude into a shot, right? You don't need to have overwhelming power to put a guy down if you know what you're doing in that ring. You feel what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to. You know you got power when you able to hit a man and he on balance and you knock him off balance. That's the dudes that got power. You able to cut a dude lights off, regardless of he in position or out of position. You feel what I'm saying? But if you a technical boxer like Devin Haney, right, who's elusive, you know what I mean, light on his toes, that can get out of dodge, holla pimp, right? You can maneuver around that ring. But to sit there and act like, oh, you beat Brian Norman, so nah, man, you know, I'm back on top. To me, I don't think you back on top, and that's a question I want to ask you. I think Devin Haney back on top. They got Devin Haney as the number one welterweight. How? I think nobody has done anything to separate themselves, right? I'm just being real with you. How after one fight, you number one welterweight? I know somebody gonna say, well, he beat the number one welterweight in Brian Norman. Was Brian Norman really the number one welterweight? We mentioned that he ain't really fought anybody, right? His step up fight was Devin Haney. And I'm just keeping it 1,000. I know there's gonna be some people who gonna disagree with me. But Devin Haney tripping, bro. We just gonna keep it 1,000, right? We applaud Devin Haney when we need to applaud him. But when it comes down to getting ridiculed, hey man, look, this is the time. You sitting here coming at a young fighter talking crazy to this dude. You know what I'm saying? And then you trying to come at Sean Porter, which Sean Porter just did an interview, and Sean Porter refused to talk trash to you. He said, man, I applaud Devin Haney and everything that he's done. You know what I mean? Good win for the young man. He said, all I'm saying is he seen me at this time, was a couple weeks ago, and he didn't talk crazy to me then. He said, what's up, champ? So that lets me know right there, he's calling out the hypocrisy in Devin Haney, right? But Tiger Johnson is correct. Boxing is weird. Boxing is a very weird sport, especially now, right? Because you got a lot of guys that get on this internet and they just come up with these fictitious beefs. That's why Tiger Johnson looking like, bro, what did I ain't even say nothing crazy. I get if I said something crazy, you know? That's why his response, if you notice, his response is kind of like, what? Like, what did I do? I didn't do nothing. If I did something, you know what I'm saying, that's different. So I think that man, Devin Haney, he just, I guess he drawing the line in the sand and he's saying it's me versus everybody. But at the end of the day, I'm just keeping that 1,000 with you. You ain't built like that to be drawing lines in the sand. I'm not sitting there saying you got to be friendly, but you trying to create enemies out of nothing. And I'm telling you, you gonna get got while you around here playing around. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm not saying there be Tiger Johnson because truthfully, do I think that fight will ever happen? No, I don't think Tiger Johnson is gonna get to that level. By the time Tiger Johnson gets in position, Devin Haney might be at 154. Not gonna lie to you, right? Let's just be real. Unless Tiger Johnson climbs up the WBO ranks somehow and gets in position, because I mean, let's look up Tiger Johnson's uh ranking in the WBO, right? I mean, what is his ranking? Unless he's able to go through the WBO and kind of force, and get it become a mandatory, you know. Okay, Tiger Johnson's ranking is number 8 in the WBO. Okay, he's ranked number 8, so he got ways to go. You know what I mean? He got ways to go unless he's able to fight the number one guy, 147 pounds, through the WBO. Right? It- you know, it's gonna be real difficult for him to get himself in position to get that type of fight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just keeping it 1,000. So I think that Tiger Johnson, man, he don't need to worry about it, man. Don't worry about no Devin Haney. You know, I say this though. If you really want to get in there with Devin Haney, talk to your people. You with Top Rank. Top Rank got a good relationship with the WBO. And so go ahead and slide that way. Slide that way. Make that fight happen and beat the number one guy. And then boom, you number one contender for Devin Haney's belt. Right? But like I said before, Devin Haney is a type of fighter that moves very strategically. He said I'll fight any and everybody. But I'm telling you, if Tiger Johnson come up, that man not gonna fight him, bro. Devin Haney's mindset is on making a certain amount of money. That's why he's trying to sit there and say, "Oh, I fight anybody." He ain't saying I want to fight anybody because of the fact that he feels like he can beat anybody. All right. I think that ship is sealed. I think Devin Haney more or less might be motivated to he fighting for big paydays. Big paydays, that's his motivation. Big paydays. Not to show that, hey, I'm the best in the world. He's fighting for big paydays and he wants to be able to, keep getting a certain amount of money so he can say, look, I get paid this. That's the first thing he mentions, right? When he get into it with anybody, oh, I make more money than you, or I make more money in my career than you make. I think this fight card, he made more money on the whole fight card. He got paid more than the main event. I think he got paid more than David Benavidez. I believe so. So Devin, he wants these big fights because he knows he gonna get big money. Right? That's what it boils down to. I don't think he wants these big fights because I want to be the best. I don't believe he's motivated by that no more. I don't think that's his mindset. I think because if he genuinely wanted to be the best, he would have stayed at 40. Why leave 40? 40 had a lot of competition down there. It's a lot of opportunity for him to bolster up his resume and fight a lot of prime guys. You got Richard Hitchens down there, Guaranton Russell, Super Matias, the list goes on. Frank Martin. You got a lot of talent down there at 140. Eastside Pitbull Cruz. It's a lot of talent down there. You know what I mean? But all of a sudden he can't make 40 and he go to 47. Right? He fought like one or two fights at 40. And then boom, I gotta go to 47. I want to fight at 47. So I just think that man, Devin got to chill out. You know what I mean? He got a lot of stuff that boys can nitpick on. You know what I mean? And I just think that, yes, he make more money than, Tiger Johnson and Sean Porter currently. You know what I mean? But when it comes to resume, you're not touching Sean Porter. You know what I mean? Unless that man go get Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, or Jamel Charlo on his resume, and you know he get those type of names, he start fighting those type of guys, and he beating them. That's when he'll put himself in another stratosphere. But until then, we really can nitpick his resume as well. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all think Devin Haney tripping? Boss gone.